Congress in Telangana, that is the key challenger to the BRS, the Bharatiya Rashtra Samiti, the incumbent party in power led by KCR, the Chief Minister of Telangana. Congress is making a promise. They're promising 10 grams of gold to newlyweds. Now, I believe this will be women from economically and socially weaker sections that will receive this, but we'll wait for a reporter to join us to confirm that aspect of this breaking news. For now, what we're confirming is that the Congress Telangana manifesto, which was already released in September, will promise 10 grams of gold to newlyweds. What the total cost to a checker will be is obviously always a big question. Remember, the number floated earlier because this is something that was hypothesized that this would be an offering coming in from the Congress Telangana. At that point, the hypothesis was that it would cost around 250 crores to give this and 1 lakh rupees to women from economically weaker sections. But what of those promises have actually panned through? We'll wait for a reporter to join us to bring us more. Now, I do want to point out to you that when different groups on the ground were asked for their reaction to the possibility of this taking place, because as I told you earlier, this was a possible promise the Congress was going to bring all the way back in October and November. Back then, you'd had activists say that this doesn't mean the empowerment of women and children, and the gold may actually induce families to marry off their girls earlier than planned. So that was a key concern by activists on the ground. Now we're going to bring you more, but remember, the election in Telangana is very carefully looked at because the BRS, the Bharatiya Rashtra Samiti, remember they changed their name from the Telangana Rashtriya Samiti. They came into power in 2014 when the state was formed, and since then there has been only this party in power. So the big question this time around is whether or not anti-incumbency will mean goodbye to the BRS and perhaps welcoming in the Congress, which is the key contender, though the BJP also hopes to be a player here. Now, we are going to bring you more, but as we've told you already, the Telangana State Congress has had their efforts led by senior Congress leadership. So you've had Rahul Gandhi, you've had Sonia Gandhi, both traveled down there multiple times. The manifesto that the Congress has released so far with its poll promises was one that focused on women and women empowerment, which is why this fits into that. Now, we told you a little while earlier that these announcements may take place. We told you, in fact, a few months ago, because this is a possibility rather, that has been floating for a few weeks now. At that point, it was announced that it would be part of a Mahalakshmi scheme. We're waiting for a reporter to join us to bring you more details on this. But at that point, it was part of an announced Mahalakshmi scheme from the Telangana Congress Party. Now, the Congress Party Manifesto Committee chairperson is Dr. Sridhar Babu. He has made some of these announcements. Again, these are largely focused or supposed to be focused at the economically weaker sections, but that's not a detail we're confirming right now. We'll wait to confirm that for you. The detail we are confirming for you right now is the promise of 10 grams of gold to newlyweds. Now, we'll bring you more details on this, but there were 6 poll guarantees that the Congress announced back in September, on September 18th, in fact. Now, we're going to bring you more details. The manifesto details so far are on your screens right now. You can perhaps see them already. I just want to talk a little bit about the Mahalakshmi scheme that was announced in Telangana with great fanfare by the Congress. What does it promise? Number 1, financial assistance of 2,500 rupees a month to women. Number 2, LPG domestic gas cylinders. Number 3, you'll also have refills for 500 rupees and free travel for women in state road transport. Let's take a look right now at the screen behind me. I'm going to share with you some of the details on the Telangana Pradesh Congress Committee set of promises. Okay, right here, number 46, and you can see this on your screens too, what we've talked about, that promise of 1 lakh rupees and 10 grams of gold. This will be to Hindus, 1,60,000 for minority girls at the time of their marriage. So in this, it doesn't seem to be specifying that this will just be for those from economically weaker sections. We'll wait for a reporter to join us to confirm more of the details. But let's take a look at more of the details right here. They've said that they will be providing certain amounts of money as part of that manifesto. They're also going to be providing and furthering certain schemes. Now, let's take a look at more of their promises. Number 1, there's going to be a review of the liquor policy across the state. Number 2, the reducing of the number of vends, the revoking of licenses, and importantly, ring roads around every big town and city. So big development promises that the Telangana Congress is making, as you can see. Now, my colleague Swastika with us right now. Swastika, we're leading by telling our audiences of the 10 grams of gold for newlywed. Swastika, when a rumor had been floated that the Congress would be doing this a few weeks ago, then it had been thought it would be doing it just for economically weaker sections. Is this for every woman in Telangana who gets married or just for those from weaker sections?
No, so the Congress's 6 guarantees and the particular point that you mentioned is going to be for the eligible beneficiaries. The categorization of that will happen if voted to power, and the biggest headline would be the Congress promising to implement all the schemes within 100 days of coming to power, all the 6 guarantees that we're talking about right now. And in fact, to elaborate more on that, I'm being joined by Dr. Shama Mohabbat here. Firstly, do you think this is going to be a game changer for you here?
It is already a game changer, not it will be. It is a game changer. If you go and ask women over here, they're saying we are able to save money. हम save कर सकते हैं क्योंकि 2,500 खाते में आ रहा है, ठीक है? Then the highest price of gas in India is in Telangana, above 1,100. It's becoming 500 rupees, all right? Then they're getting free bus ride. Then 200 units of electricity is free. And for kids, school going, we are giving 5 lakh for helping them in their education. And if you have an old person in your house, they're going to get 4,000 as their pension. And also, let's understand that there is that health insurance, which is 10 lakh. So it's good for the old people. So how much do you save? Suppose somebody is getting 10,000 rupees, huge amount of money, around 8,000 would be saved. And you have for the farmers who do not have land, 12,000 per year and 15,000 for those who have land. And the most important, Indra Hindlu, you're giving houses for 5 lakh, and you're also those who do not have land, we're giving land, right? And for the martyrs family, 250 square yards. So all these things, let's understand it, is very important because people, whatever KCR does, these guarantees are going to be there. And as you heard the Congress president speak immediately, he told Revanji, as soon as when we win, as soon as the cabinet form, the first thing is to see to it that these guarantees are into action.
Fair enough, but when it comes to Telangana elections, it's a battle of welfare schemes. Your KCR is heavy on welfare schemes. He's relying on his Raitu Bandhu, Asra pension. The Congress has come up with 6 guarantees. How possible it is for you to implement it from the economic aspect of it?
So, Raitu Bandhu asked the farmers what is the truth. 2 BHK, which he promised them. How many of them have got the 2 BHK? Hardly anybody. He said, I would do 5 lakh, more than 5 lakh houses. They haven't got it. So they know his promises are wrong. Unemployed youth were supposed to be given 3,016 rupees per month. So by now it would be 1,17,000 odd. Ask them if they got not a single youth. So a lot of broken promises. In our case one, you asked about the economic feasibility. We're doing it in Karnataka. When we say something, we do it. Congress party keeps their word, and that is the example. That's what I want to tell each and everyone out there. Go to Karnataka, you're yourself a journalist, and find out. I know that all our schemes are happening. Whatever promises we made, we're keeping that. The other biggest example is the old pension scheme in Himachal. We promised it within a week. I remember the CM executed it. You have Rajasthan, the old pension scheme, now Chhattisgarh. So Congress keeps their word. That itself shows that unlike him, unlike KCR who's saying I'm doing this, it's all a big lie.
But when Congress has been accusing that KCR has driven the state into a fiscal deficit state, and in fact, more importantly, conservatively, the 6 guarantees plus your other promises, as far as if I'm not wrong, is going to be at least 52,000 crores, and the budget for Telangana is somewhere around 2 lakh crores. So, do you think this is a doable thing?
So, I surely think it's doable. Now, what you need to do after the elections, if we form the government, come after 2 months and ask me this question. Then I'll be able to answer. You are asking a hypothetical question. You have to ask him, KCR, what is the debt of the state? It's the highest in India. So why is he in debt? And what is the Kaleshwaram project? From 40,000 crore, it went to 1.5 lakh crore. And it's not us, the Congress party, who said there is a scam out there. The Dam Security Authority came down there and said, the pillars are submerged, there are cracks all over, there are issues here, this has to be rebuilt. So what was he doing with all this money? He was supposed to give irrigation to more than 40,000 acres.